Let's do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Let's do it in the morning. Feeling your sweet face all laid up next to mine. Good morning, peoples. Happy Thursday. Hi, dog, liquor cam. Oh, you number one 2 days in a row. Hi, it's Z. It's Z. Child, we've been going through this thing for 3 years. Has it been 3? Or are we pressing up against 4? I don't know. Okay, we're going to talk about JUSSIE SMOLLETT. How she talk to merch? Let's do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Well, the tragic story of JUSSIE SMOLLETT is back in the news. This time because Jussie has entered rehab. Now, I think it's significant that he's entered an outpatient rehab, which means basically you go into a facility for a meeting or 2 a day, and that's considered outpatient, right? You may come in, I forget how it worked here, but it's not like you live in the place, right? You go home at night. Sometimes outpatient will have you do drug classes in groups all during the day. But they're not being specific in this announcement saying that he's entered rehab. Is it rehab from drug addiction? I would hope that this whole fiasco of his, it would make more sense if he was on drugs, right? Not to say that would be better or he'd be less guilty or anything, but at least it would be some reason why you would pull a ridiculous stunt like you pulled and stuck so closely to it. But the story is he's entered outpatient rehab. We don't know if perhaps this is part of the deal he's making with the people who he's in appeals, right? He got sentenced, went to jail, was only there 6 days, and he got out on appeal. So he's appealing his case. Now, I guess right before the case comes before the judge again, he's now going into rehab. Now, I'm not going to criticize because I think everybody should be in rehab if they have a drug or alcohol problem. I think it's a great place to start whatever your journey is going to be. If you're serious, you would go to rehab, right? Just so you know that you're serious and that you recognize and realize that you need support, at least initially, so that you don't be tempted to go out and just use drugs again. So there's a possibility that as his lawyers are coordinating with the people who he's in appeals court with, they might suggest it would help his case if he were to go into rehab. A lot of these celebrities, excuse my trains, my subways, but it is burning up hot again. Anyway, it might help your case if you went to rehab. But it also is going to now scar you as a drug addict. They won't say that he's going into rehab for addiction specifically. They just say rehab, right? So we don't know if there's a such thing as a rehab for lying or for pathological liars. It seems to me that would be something that would be better suited to a therapist, psychiatry, some kind of psychiatric program. But they said rehab. We have to assume it's drugs. There was a story back when this thing first came to light that those brothers, Ascendero brothers, were saying that they did do drugs with JUSSIE SMOLLETT, that they went to a bathhouse together. It looks like one of those brothers is actually gay. It might have been the primary person with him. But anyway, they went to a place and they did drugs together, and they were also supplying drugs to him. So it's not far-fetched to think that he does drugs. But a whole lot of people do drugs, right? I don't know that a whole lot of people do drugs and then come up with one of these harebrained stories that will bring all of this media attention to themselves. Usually, if you're doing dope, the last thing you want is media attention on it, right? So he could plead that I think JUSSIE SMOLLETT probably got some mental problems because the way he carried on in court, I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal. You hear me? Did you hear? I said, girl, calm down. This thing, you only got a few days in jail. In my opinion, he could have just went on and did his little time in jail and got on about his life, honey. I don't know why people are so afraid of jail. He just stretched this damn thing out for 3 or 4 years now. But if he does have a drug problem, I hope that this is the time where he has decided to get off drugs, to at least start his journey. Let's hope for the best for him. As far as is it just for the appeals process or for the courts? It could be. They could very well say, we need you to go to check yourself into a program. He said, no, I have work to do. All that. Well, go to an outpatient. This is something that it would be suggested by his attorneys, right? It'll make you look better in court, like you are rehabilitated. And then you can just blame the whole thing on drugs. I did it. The reason I did it is because I was on drugs. Makes sense. That was what I initially thought. I said, well, the first thing he should have did was turn himself into rehab and go and say he was high. Because at least then we say, well, okay, it ain't supposed to make sense if he's high, right? How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? On a side note, sidebar, it looks like the feds did raid or show up at iHeart Radio on yesterday after they arrested the guy Pina. I'm talking about the DJ Envy story. They did also raid the radio station. Pina does not work there, but apparently their interest was in modes of communication. So they went in there and they took a lot of electronics out. We've assumed that means that they probably went to whatever DJ Envy's workspace is, whatever computers he would have access to. The feds went and got him. Just guessing, they got his phones and his personal devices. So they are, just by that statement alone, are saying they are also looking at DJ Envy. One's in jail, same day they come after Envy. So yeah, we're looking at RICO with that. But I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty big case. So we'll check on that every once in a while. Back to Brother Jussie. Now, as far as I know, Jussie Smollett has not done a lot of work since this fiasco. So his plan for more publicity or more money backfired on him, and he's basically not worked again. I think he did a directorial thing with Be Better Blues, I think the name of the project was, but it was an independent kind of project. Basically, he wrecked his whole career behind this. And we don't know if he would have had a career after Empire. Apparently, the show was starting to close down anyway. The numbers were not what they were when at its heyday. As far as I know, the young kid, the one who played Akeem, he never worked either. He's had all kind of problems, but he has not gone on to develop a career for himself, even though he was a starring role. Terrence Howard, he's then retired or semi-retired. Taraji's the only one that seems like she's really went on to pursue for her career to take off. Anyway, so we don't know what would have happened with his career. He also had a singing career. As you remember, his character on there was a singer. People criticize singing because people on social media, they criticize everything. I always liked his singing. I liked his not only his acting, but also his performances on that show. He crashed that. He said he was he's the new Tupac or whatever. So the boy probably needs mental health, and perhaps we can only hope that if he does go in seeking program, that mental health will be a part of his program. Right? People need different things. But when I was in the program, I saw a therapist. I saw a therapist and a drug counselor, and I was in program. So it takes what it takes. But if he thinks he's going to walk away from this thing now, clean as a whistle, now you'd have identified that you're a drug addict, right? So when you use drugs again, now we can call you relapsing because you have admitted that you're a drug addict by entering rehab. Anyway, who knows what goes on in the mind of Jussie Smollett? I don't. I certainly don't. I think it's such a waste because he was a young guy. These will be his primary years for acting, for working. He's blown them. They're sitting on the bench. Jussie needs therapy. That's what he needs. Therapy is the primary thing. Yeah, and there's no coincidence that as his appeal is coming up, the hearing for his appeal, that he would all of a sudden now he's interested in rehab. Why haven't you been interested in rehab for the last 3 years? But it takes what it takes. I'm always happy to see anybody entering rehab if they have a problem. No one benefits by you being out there on dope. And I would imagine that after all the drama, if he was doing drugs, he'd probably doing them a lot more after he fucked up his career and his singing career, and has basically had to disappear. And when he does appear, he has to come on with this, still holding on to this harebrained story of his, where all the evidence points in a different direction. So we'll know if Jussie is serious about recovery when he comes out and say, yeah, it was a lie. I did make it up. Here's my reasons. Netflix might even want to talk to him about that. He's your Motown singer. I liked his voice. I liked his role. I think he was a great actor. First time I saw him, he was in something called Skinny, The Skinny or something like that, some little gay show. But he was good. He's very natural in front of the camera. Obviously, he's extremely good looking. But looks are, that's the thing. It's a passing thing. You're not real handsome for the rest of your life. You know, you got your 20s, early 30s. So he's blowing those good years as far as being a leading person. That Empire was a once in a lifetime opportunity for him, because he was able to play a gay character, which he's a gay man. That was like gold. Won't be a lot of roles like that, but now finally there are allowing other actors to play whatever they're playing. Michael Douglas played Liberace. There's all kind of people playing all kind of roles. Tuan Fu, who was that? Wesley Snipes. You could play any kind of role, right? So there might have been a lot more opportunity for him. He blew all that. Thank you, dog liquor cam. I'm one of your faves. Mm-hmm. Y'all notice that my thumbnails are going to be promoting my new project, Who Shot the Caller? Who shot the caller? Did who got his goddamn deputy? Oh, no. I'll be promoting that for, a few weeks. But officially, Who Shot the Caller is its drop date is tomorrow. So there'll be a link to purchase on Amazon starting, I believe, tomorrow. They say tomorrow, but it could go on a couple of days after that. Certainly by this weekend, the book will be available. Mm-hmm. Hi, black cover boy. Mm-hmm. You at work listening? At least you got a job. You a BMW, honey. It'd be a shame if we never get to see any more of his talents, though. Right? Even if he does have mental problems, a whole lot of people have mental problems, honey. In every profession, every field, there have been some superstars with mental problems. That doesn't mean that they can't act or they can't sing. Hell, Nina Simone had all kind of problems. She's still a classic, a legend. I think it's for substance abuse. Yeah, that would be the thing. They showed him coming out of a meeting with an Narcotics Anonymous books. Essentially, a Narcotics Anonymous book is the same thing as the Alcoholics Anonymous book. Is the same thing as the Overeaters Anonymous books. They all have their tweak on it, but basically they're 12-step programs. All those 12-step programs. They use the same spiritual principles to address whatever their issues are. So yeah, the Occidental brothers, they gave testimony that they were using drugs with him. That's not all that surprising. Not everybody who uses drugs is a drug addict, though. I think that when you start turning yourself into recovery programs and so forth, uh, sounds like that could be a little more serious problem. Uh-huh. So like everybody who drinks wine, everybody who drinks is not an alcoholic. I mean, that's why we have bars and liquor stores and all this kind of stuff, right? But some people who drink alcohol will become alcoholics. It's a totally separate thing from the actual substance. It's not the substance, it's the person. They harbor on the drug dealers, but they don't say shit to the people operating liquor stores. They're selling to alcoholics, right? Anyway, I'm just glad to be free of it. If he's doing drugs, though, there's no chance at all he'll come back. He'll be too busy, too paranoid. He could come and give an apology and so forth. Michael Douglas deserved an Oscar for his role as Liberace. All that plastic surgery. I knew that guy in there, Prima Wanda, Scott Thorson, who wrote that original novel. Scott Thorson, Liberace's lover, who he had all that plastic surgery. Who was that played by? Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe played him, but I actually knew that guy. I knew him because we were both going to jail at the same time. The boy was a drug addict, and apparently Liberace was as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was excellent in that, Michael Douglas. Now that's what you call an actor. An actor should be able to play any role, honey, or a lot of different roles. Oh, you never knew Nina Simone had a lot of problems? Oh yes, honey. What's her story called? Netflix, I believe it's called Nina. But just look up Nina, put Nina Simone in Netflix, and they'll give you her whole story. I forget if it was schizophrenia or what her issue was, but yeah, she had a lot of mental problems. And Netflix is good for that, for these documentaries and things, Jeff. Covering these people's lives. There's some on Tubi as well. Who was I watching last night? I was watching the story on Tubi. They seem to be getting a lot of press lately. People talking about it. They seem to be calling it a ghetto station. I don't know why. They're just playing the same movies everybody else plays. But I was watching a story about Jennifer Hudson and that fool that killed her family. They did that story. I forget what it's called, but probably if you go to Tubi, you put in Jennifer Hudson, and then they'll give you that story as well. It's being reported on by Geraldo Rivera, but it's in movie form. About that crazy child that went and killed her mother, her brother, and kidnapped the son. Right? Pretty horrific. Then they got all the stories about all these celebrities and what happened to their money. We assume everybody is rich. They have the Red Fox story on there, Lucy's story. A lot of the people who we assume are rich are not, and they end up broke. They have a lot of that kind of stuff on there as well. Yeah, check out the one on Nina Simone. It's very well done. Nina Simone. Mm-hmm. They have one on Quincy Jones and a lot of them. Put music documentaries. Soul Sister #1 show. How you doing today? So we gotta watch. We hope this is not another move by Jussie. He's not above stunts. We saw that, and we saw how panicked he was about going to jail. So I imagine he'd do anything to stay out. But I thought the damn thing was over. But apparently he's just out on appeal, pending appeal. So he's still got to go in there and fight the damn thing again. He's already guilty, right? They have to appeal the guilty verdict. They're probably, if he's making a move like that, they're probably going to blame it on drugs. Good afternoon, my sweetheart. Really, you knew Scott Thorson? He got married. Who he get married to? I thought he had cancer recently. No, Scott Thorson, how you gonna get married to somebody? He got married to Liberace. Didn't he have a big palimony suit with Liberace? Now that had to be before there was official gay marriage, but before there was gay marriage, there were gay partnerships. That's where the idiot boy Wilson keeps talking about, I got a partner, I got a partner. Where's your partner? We had partnerships, right? And they were legally binding. So Scott, he wrote a book under the candelabra, but he also sued Liberace for palimony. They got married. They had a partnership, essentially a marriage. Yeah, he was a crackhead when I know him. The last time I saw him, he may still be alive. I beat cancer. He was on here saying that he had some kind of cancer, but he also was not. He's also been given to stretch the law, stretch the truth. Remember, he had a big story claiming that he had a love affair with Michael Jackson. Now, all the things we've heard said about Michael Jackson, ain't nobody ever said he was involved with no 40-year-old man. So, but I remember that was a story. That was a clout chase. He died. Okay. Yeah. Cause I heard about that cancer thing. That had to be 10, 15 years ago. And someone says he's alive. Never mind. Okay. He died. He's alive. Okay. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. SK. I didn't know him well. SK. How you say it? Scott Thorson. Scott Thorson. Shall I go? Let's go to his name. Here he is. Interview. Breakers. That's another Scott Thorson. There's two of them there. This is the singer, Scott Thorson. He sang with Tom Petty. Here's Scott Thorson. 9 years ago, last time Scott Thorson saw his ex-lover Liberace, they were, where are they now? So on Oprah, he appeared. Remember, he had his face changed to look like Liberace and all that. And he did look like Liberace. Yeah, I'm not going to do the interview right now, but he was started off as his chauffeur. I can't tell if he's alive or not. I can see that that interview he did with Oprah was 9 years ago. And of course, we saw the movie. In the movie, he's still alive. So I don't know. No, the way it worked in LA, they had a regular jail, which is a great big old fortress type jail in LA. But they had a gay jail as well, which was in a totally different building, HOJJ, Old County Jail. So if you were gay and you were in jail, you were most likely in that unit. And that's where I got to know him at. Have I missed the singing? You got lucky, Nikki B. Don't tempt me. Oh, yeah, he's another one. He used to hate my singing, Scott Thorson, because there was a lot of those guys on there. We were all bunched in together, right? And I used to do this thing where that's where I got the name Jabber, because I was constantly talking, joking, and singing. And I was singing this song. I remember when they got so mad at me, I was singing this song late at night. Hey, Mr. Melody, you got me humming till you're crazy beat. Whoa, whoa, Mr. Melody. And at the end of the song, she has this high ass note. And for some reason or other, in my late 20s, I thought I could hit that note. Mr. Melody. Anyway, I would hurt myself trying to do that now. Not that I did it well then, but they used to tell me, shut up, Tim, shut the fuck up. We're trying to sleep in here. You can't sleep in jail, honey. Sleep on your own time. Stay on the streets. Mm-hmm. Oh, sister, are you on? What are you messing with Soul Sister #1 show for? I just got here. Mr. Wonderful Voice. Oh, she would have to be drugged to enjoy my singing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Him and this other guy named Dr. Bobs, they used to really go off of me. They'd come up to me on the roof. Hey, could you knock off the singing? She was a messy old queen too, honey. But I was going in and out quite a bit back in them days. Baby, would you please be quiet? Sit that bum right here. Sit that bum. Sit down the bum. Your daddy will love you. Okay, let me see what y'all say. Mr. Melody, honey. Mr. Yellow D. Who did? Hey, Mr. Melody. Was that Natalie Cole? The more I hear it, the more I like it. You really made a hit with me, Mr. Melody. So what do y'all see as a career for Jussie Smollett? He's probably not going to be on television. Although, I mean, there are stories of people who have come through recovery and had second careers. But could he make it as a singer? People are much more receptive to people being dope fiends when they're singers, when they're rappers, when they're rock and roll stars. So he could come back as a singer, I guess, or he could work behind the scenes. He did a directorial debut. I think it was called Better Be Better Blues. I don't know. I think he should have wrapped this thing up. We would have forgot all about it by now. Now we got to go over it again. If you put Jussie Smollett's name in it, honey, they got pages and pages and pages of the Jussie Smollett story. He might be hooked on the damn on the publicity and on being famous, and just want to keep the story going because it keeps him relevant in his mind. A prison guard would be perfect for him. Who gonna be a prison guard? Jussie Smollett? He ain't going to jail, child. If they gonna put his ass in jail, he couldn't even make it 6 days. I mean, the whole sentence was number what, 3 months? Girl, jail, it ain't all that, honey. You sit there, you read a book, and they bring you the food, you eat it. That's it. He'd be in special population. If he act right, they'll put him on regular population, but it ain't no big deal. That just means you get to go up on the roof. At least in prison, you're able to walk around and go to lift weights or something, but and get a job in the prison. But if you're in county jail, it's all basically the same. You're in a jail most of the time. They go on the roof for an hour or something like that. Hour, 2 hours. He could have did that standing on his head. He could have sit there and wrote his memoir or tried to tell the truth about something, child. He could possibly salvage his career. Okay, you think that once Jussie comes clean and confesses, that's when he can possibly salvage his career? I think he can produce and direct. He's a talented guy. Yeah, nothing like telling the truth. A lot of times people get clean and sober. That's when they tell the truth, honey. Y'all know y'all got relatives that go to jail. Oh, it's just a prison letter. It's just a prison letter. No, listen to the prison letter, because at least when they're in prison, they're not on drugs. They're not getting high. They're not trying to get something from you. So that's probably the closest you're going to get to the truth from people. And if they get clean, they want to come clean. That's why people write their memoirs and all that stuff. I had no problem telling everything. And when I wrote The Meth Monster, it wasn't for them. It wasn't for you. I never even dreamed they would get 8,000 sales. I was just telling my story. I wanted to get it all out of me, honey. Tell the truth. Secrets kill. Now, if he would come out and make a movie, get a Netflix deal and make a movie about himself, that might be a seller. That might bring him back. When he first started lying, Did he get any roles by lying? Were there scams in building his career? What was the relationship between him and Lee Daniels? What was the real relationship? How did you get that role? I sat next to that boy who played his boyfriend. You heard I guess he was a Puerto Rican guy who played his boyfriend in the first episodes of Empire. I was in the Castro Theater, and I actually had a conversation with him. He was fine as hell too, honey. But he's done some more acting. It seems like he gets a lot of gay roles, though. I'm hoping the day will come away and guy just do gay roles. No, he's not. No, he did something else too. He did Dynasty on Netflix. He played a character. Actually, he had a pretty big role on the new Dynasty. That guy. So we don't know what all people are doing. All we know is what we see. So since I saw a couple episodes of that, then I know that he had a recurring role in there. Sometimes these guys have had thriving careers, and I wasn't even aware of it because I wasn't watching any of those shows or I didn't see those movies. I think it's a great thing. It's very cathartic to write your biography, right? People told me, "Well, Timothy, you ain't no celebrity. Why the hell you gonna write a biography?" That's why I call it Meth Monster. That was the issue, honey. It was drug addiction's epidemic in this country, right? How does it happen? How did you get into it? How in the hell did you get out of it? It's primary for a lot of people. So that was the interesting element to the story. We've all done things, right? You're a baker. You can write a story about being a baker. A lot of people write stories about what they do for a living. Doctors have written books. Nurses have written books, But it is free. It's also a part of the 12-step program. They ask you to not write a whole book, but to write they call it the moral inventory, but write an inventory of basically telling your story in the short form, the truth. Get it on paper and share it with somebody else. The therapeutic use. Mm-hmm. He will confess and blame it all on drugs. This is part of the plan. Jussie is a manipulative little sugar queen. Oh my goodness. Black cover boy. He will confess and blame it all on drugs. This is part of the plan. Jussie is a manipulative little sugar queen. That don't mean he can't be a drug addict too. Do I think he would be above that if he wasn't a drug addict? Yeah, I think he would still do it. He'd do anything to stay out of jail. Y'all didn't see him in the court? Boy, damn near had a coronary, honey. He only in there 6 days. I believe what he said. Somebody else would have to tell the story of Jussie because nobody's going to believe a word he says in his own book or his own story. He's a known liar. So who will believe? Right. So it has to be a biography, not an autobiography. Maybe get a sister or somebody to write it, but anybody associated with him. I don't know. You can tell somebody. I don't know. I always like to tell the truth. That's why I give in these queens and these assholes over here so much ammunition against me because I'm just prone to telling the truth. I just like it. It makes me feel freer. Maybe if I was younger, I would exaggerate things, tell stories and all that. No. No, nothing like telling the truth, honey. Giving your testimony. Nobody wants to hear your made-up stories, girl. We got enough fiction. Yeah, he might try to glamorize things a little bit. Not a little bit, actually. He'd be like Donald Trump, make up the whole damn thing. Oh, okay, Nikki B. See, what do you call people like you, Nikki B? You a troublemaker? Jay Wilson tells the truth. That fool don't tell the truth about nothing, child. Nothing from nothing, leave nothing. He is so important trying to impress him. He's so busy trying to impress himself, child. He'll never nothing tell the truth. Why did you tell that? Oh, you told that. Oh, you told that story. You these are your words. These are your words. Oh, why did you say that? Oh, you never tell. There's no value put in the truth at all, honey. No, none whatsoever. It's all a spin. It's all a Donald Trump. Mm. Now they say that dude Pina, the one they're working on now, is another Donald Trump. These spin artists. He said he's worth what did he say? $50 million. He had $50 million in properties, and now they find out that he is being foreclosed on his own damn house. How in the hell you got $50 million in properties all around New Jersey, and yet you're in foreclosure? You can't even keep up with your car notes, your car payments, right? Spend, spend, spend. I guess they feel like if people feel like you got money, then they have no problem giving you money. As long as they know you're broke, they ain't giving you shit. Mm-hmm. Like the true closet queen. Praise is hiding. Well, that's true. They've been hiding their whole lives, honey. I ain't messing with you, Nikki B. You trying to rile me now. You trying to rile me. What you say? Okay, one more. And boy, can Jay Wilson sing beautiful sounds. Ooh, they're so beautiful. Got the nerve trying to sing Luther Vandross. Bitch, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere throwing all them damn Kim Burrell runs in the middle of he didn't have to run, he could sing. Shit. It's the lies. That's what I'm saying. He's a big liar. That's why I say he will blame his behavior on. Well, right. But that would make sense then. You would go into the program right before you go before the judge to say that you have now surrendered your soul and you no longer use drugs or alcohol. You're a changed man and all that kind of stuff. That fits. You think he dabbled in drugs? There's no reason to believe he dabbled. I think if you're doing crack, you can only dabble in crack for a short period of time, honey. You all dabble in when you first start. But if you do it for any period of time, try to shoot heroin for 3 weeks and see if you'll be a dabbler. Right? If you keep fucking with eventually the drugs will take over. It's been my experience. Right? I dabbled in meth. Look what happened. I only did meth so I wouldn't be drunk. That was only to be to wake up. That was it. Cost me 17 years of my life. Now I would say it cost me that much because it's not like I was having a miserable time. It's just that the price to pay for having that time was so extreme. Most people don't live in jail, you know. Yeah, all that dabbling. Whole lot of people try to dabble. And they always act like all the drug addicts are these homeless people and stuff, right? But you remember the epidemic of drug addiction in Hollywood back in the 80s? They were all strung out on cocaine. Real cocaine, not crack. I knew a couple of actors myself. I ain't gonna drop no names. What number of drug addicts? Well, finally, you tell the truth, Nikki B. I had the runs after hearing Jay Wilson sing. That's right. Run out of the room, honey. I'll be right back. Tell me when he's done. Black Cover Boy, what are you basing that on? I don't think he was a heavy drug user, though. I think he is only saying he was addicted to cover for that bullshit. Okay. Probably at the time the bullshit happened, he couldn't have been, but he couldn't have been a heavy drug user because he had to go to work, right? He never appeared to be a drug addict when he was acting, right? But after he lost his career, messed up his singing career and his acting career, and had all this court case stuff. Now he's on there. The last time I heard him, he's talking about I never knew people were talking about it. I never knew it was a big story. Girl, please. Everybody looks at social media, honey. Anyway, but probably in this time that he's had nothing to do but be at home, a talented person sitting on their hands. An idle mind is the devil's playground, I believe is the saying. He probably got more involved in drugs. Now, whether he's willing to give those up, I don't know. Because it could be that, yes, he's doing this for his case, and he's also a drug addict. Right? Now, most people who tell you they smoke weed, they ain't calling themselves no drug addict. I just smoke weed. That's all. Most people smoke weed, or most young people smoke weed these days, child. I ain't no drug addict. But if you're smoking weed from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed at night, and you have to sometimes be walked off your job because you're smoking so much weed, right? If you're spending your household money on buying weed, then yes, you're a drug addict, honey. It's just your drug of choice doesn't cost as much, and the side effects are not as extreme as some other drugs. You're still an addict. Shit. That was my first drug, was weed. I love weed. Man, I lost more work. I only lost a couple of jobs in my whole lifetime. But both times it was because I would be on my job. I was in Century City, and I was parking cars at Century City. I think I was about 25, 26 years old. Anyway, and I would go to lunch, for 2 and 3 hours. Why? Because I would smoke weed on my lunch break, and I wouldn't come back, girl. So the last time I came back, buddy, this black woman was running the company too. She said, you see that over there? That's your stuff right over there. Okay, we'll send you the check. Of course, on meth, I didn't even try to even attempt to use no drug. I mean, work on a job, you know. Hey, where you want this put at? That's how you be, right? Sometimes you'll see them on the phone booth. They be doing all this shit, girl. When they had phone booths, you know, bodies twisting around. We never even attempted to work then. And now these people talking about some body twisting. Y'all seen the effects of this fentanyl? It's distinct. Heroin always made you nod out, leaning to the side, and all that kind of stuff, right? Nothing like fentanyl. This fentanyl is horrible to see. These people they're standing up and touching the ground at the same time. You imagine your head touching the ground as you're still standing up. That's how deep and severe this shit is, and it will kill you. So fortunately, that wasn't around when I was out there. But I probably ended up hooked on it because they're cutting all these other drugs with fentanyl. And I just had epiphany just a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, or something like that. Oh, that's what it is. That's why because at first I couldn't figure out, why are these people cutting good drugs with fentanyl? What would be the purpose in cutting? Because the people already like the drugs. That's why they hooked on it, right? No, they don't want you. It's not, they're putting the fentanyl in other drugs because they want you to get hooked on the fentanyl. And then eventually you'll see these people who are walking around like that, can't stand up anymore. That was the goal, to get you on fentanyl. It's more addictive. They're putting it in crack, meth, pills. Black cover boy. You ought to show your picture, cover boy. Shit, I want to see that. Black cover boy. Y'all see my cover on my new book? Ain't he handsome? With murder and ass. No, he's a murder victim. But my point is, whether he was or wasn't a drug addict, I think he will use drug addiction to garner sympathy from the public so they can, well, that's true. That's going to happen. Whether he is or isn't, that's still going to be used in this court case. He's not stupid. He is a master manipulator. He probably dreamed up that whole scam while he was high, though. I mean, there were so many loose ends there. They were on him the next day, weren't they? You see it every day in your career. It's hard to see. And if you look down there, there's some of those faces. Those are young people. Old people ain't out there doing no honey unless they're already hooked. Some of these people, they're young people, and this is how they're spending their youth. It's heartbreaking for me. Mm-hmm. Is not to see the world as it truly is. She would freak out. What happened? At Nikki, let me see what Nikki said. Never saw the fascination with drugs. You never saw consider yourself blessed, Nikki B. You ain't missed a goddamn thing, honey. Mm-mm. Junkhead walking in the twilight. I was a long, long way from home. I left home 40 years ago. Y'all keep saying, kick it, quit it. What? Lord, but did you ever try to turn your sick soul inside out so that the world could watch you die? That's why they say it's addictive, honey. Addictive. Same thing with, why were we smoking cigarettes all them damn years, child? We smoking cigarettes, it took them, 60, 70 years to convince us that smoking cigarettes was dangerous. How many years? Because the nicotine was addictive. You start smoking it and you get hooked on it, and then you can't live without it. Mm-hmm. That song just came up. It's for you, Nikki B. I play the street light, ba-boom, boom, but you better not get old. Street light, ba-boom, boom, are you gonna feel the cold? You let the people see just who you wanna be, and every night you shine just like a superstar. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Street light. Who is that? Nancy Wilson? Uh-huh. We the women want to your pictures. Oh, we want to see it. All the ladies want to see the black cover boy. Don't tease him, cover boy. They like all them biceps and triceps. Areolas and things. Sorry for my typing, but my nails keep getting in the way. Oh, you got the long nails? Soul Sister #1 show? Mm-mm. I keep chopping them down and they keep growing. You tired of chopping them down? You got to find you a good manicurist and just go there regularly. We have a brilliant pianist at our church, and they were making a record, right? They were making a record. We had City of Refuge, used to be in San Francisco. And the producer of the album that they were recording kept saying there's something wrong in the sound, the sound system, right? And what they discovered was it was her fingernails on the keys, girl. So they had to take tape and bandage up her fingernails individually because it was coming through on the record as this ticking sound. Lord have mercy. What we won't do for beauty. The Crusaders. Not sure who the lead singer. Oh, the Crusaders did Street Life? I thought that was Nancy Wilson. She had a song like that, though, right? Or maybe she did a Junkie Walking in the Twilight. You by the sound of it. A man with muscles. Woo! Why you say that? So do you by the sound of it, Tim? A man with muscles? What does that mean? I want muscles all over his body. Listen, I don't care if he's young or old, just as long as he's beautiful. I just need someone I can hold on to. I want muscles all over his body. Michael Jackson wrote that for Diana Ross. Can you believe it? How did he get away with that? My nails not getting paid. Yeah, I just started getting pedicures just this what was it, last year? I said, well, I could save myself all this trouble, all this bending over, honey, and trying to get down there. I'll just sit back and relax, let these Chinese ladies massage my feet and everything. Mm. Do these be real songs? Yeah, they real songs. You know about the muscle song? Mm-hmm. That was Diana Ross, baby. Pedicures are nice, just relax in the seat. They put that salty shit on there and it massage your toes. They get the little bitty ones you can't reach. I ain't been able to reach mine in years, honey. Not the little bitty ones. They're so smooth and nice. You walk light on your feet. Mm-hmm. I don't get no pedicure though. I don't think I need it. I don't have none. Let me see. Yeah, I go. Where do I go? Once a month to pedicure people. Oh, before your time, Tony, you don't know that old ass music. Well, girl, Tony, I don't understand y'all music at all, honey. Talking about backing that ass up. Shit. I should say that. Backing that's 20 years old right there, child. Every generation has their own music, honey. We know music sounds good. That's why it sells. And it's given a lot of these people who might have just been gangbangers, is made them millionaires and stars and celebrities and things. So that's great. A lot of people come off the street because of music. Maybe that's the way it always was. I don't know. Play it out loud. Yeah, so sister, I figured he must have been high. Come on with that shit. He picked a spot, the only place in downtown Chicago with no camera, one spot, and that's where he wants to get mugged at. Like these white people from the suburbs, these Trump supporters would know where the hell that spot was. Then they got the Ocelano brothers all on camera, buying all the damn shit they use, that silly ass rope. He show up and keeps the rope around his. It was just all so silly, right? And what was the point in it? That's what you need to tell us. Like OJ said, if I did do it, you need to write, here's why I did it. And if it's some harebrained shit you dreamed up when you was high, it was what it sounded like to think you were going to get away with that. What do you think about Jada Pinkett situation? I think she's selling books. That's all I think about it. They come up with something sensational to draw you in. So she'll be releasing other stories. I mean, why the hell we care about Tupac, whatever his hair situation was? He didn't have no hair. But you know that'll draw people in. And what they've been talking about for the last week, their sexual situation, their marriage situation, all that is to sell books. Now, we know she don't need the money, but selling books is not just about how much money you can get. It's more about telling your story, right? Now, I don't doubt that the stuff that she says is probably true. I don't think she's making it up or lying about it, but I do believe that she's strategically releasing it to sell books. That's her current project. I haven't seen no Jada Pinkett in a whole lot of movies lately. Have you? That's essentially what all celebrities do to sell their books. They always come and drop something, right? As far as them being together, not together, my question was, do they live in the same house? I mean, obviously, they're rich people. They probably have several residences, but when they're in the same town, do they still share the same house? That has not been made clear to me. So they're just married in name only? Well, they probably got an arrangement. Maybe they didn't have no prenup, so they didn't know how rich they would become. And now it just makes sense to stay together. I don't think that's other than usual. People have other reasons. A lot of senior citizens, they get a divorce because they get more benefits if they're separate, if they're two single people, as opposed to being together. People have all kinds of reasons and stuff like that. But that whole slap psychology, we don't know what that was all about. It still doesn't make sense to me. Why would you jeopardize everything on your big night for that? Anyway, so we don't know. We don't know if he had one too many drinks or anything else. Is it surprising to me? I don't watch them enough to be surprised by anything. Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. Plus, those are very wealthy people. I don't give a damn about their lives, girl. If you are a big fan of theirs, then I guess you would be more interested in that. Right? She does seem to have a lot to say about sex. So now they're accusing the woman of being a lesbian woman and wanting to procure 3 ways and 4 ways. And they're grown people, You live your life out loud. She chose to, I don't know if any of this stuff embarrasses Will Smith, though. I would think he would have some say as to what they put out, since he's still a pretty big celebrity. But he's got to be down with it, I would imagine. Sounds like humiliation rituals. Well, she already dropped that she was having an affair with some young guy, right? Sex, drugs, and tell all. There's all kind of stuff going on there, honey. Well, the children are gone now. So what was her point in telling if this was a big secret of theirs and they've kept for many years? Why is it all of a sudden now just to sell books? Is that why she's decided to tell this information? I mean, if it was a secret, shouldn't it still be a secret? You can live the rest of your life without us knowing what goes on in your bedroom, honey, or who's zooming who. So I don't know. Nothing from nothing, leave nothing. That was Jay Wilson's song, child. She had a rap song. Put nothing from nothing, leave nothing in your search engine. TW. And you hear they put Jay Wilson sings nothing from nothing, leave nothing. Nothing from nothing, leave nothing. You got to be something. Something he stole from Billy Preston. You got to have something if you want to be with me. Oh, baby. Don't you remember I told you I'm a soldier in the war on poverty? Yeah. You got to have a little something, child. You're a rapper too, huh, Jay Wilson? Fucking idiot. Baby, if I was this age, if I was 53 years old, he say 53, I say 55. Because he lies about everything. I don't know why he'd be telling the truth about his age. The only thing he tells the truth about. But whatever the age is, he's over 50 years old, right? And you're supposed to be a head of the choir. You're a choir director, and you charge $350. What was it? 2 songs for $350, and you go somewhere different every Sunday, and you are a music impresario, or you got a master's degree in singing, and girl, you just everything, right? Why haven't you ever recorded anything, Jay Wilson? I mean, it doesn't take that much, girl. I self-publish my own books, girl. You don't have to stop being creative just think because you're broke and nobody's interested in you. You could have made a damn album in your garage, girl. Why? Because it sounds terrible. These gospel singers, we ain't never seen you in nothing, Jay Wilson. All we see is an old clip of you in front of the choir doing like this. Your fat ass. Hey, keep looking back, girl. Child, please. You can't come up with one record. Lord have mercy. Who in there said they have an upcoming story, Mark Tells All? Was that something that VS is doing? Somebody said something about Mark Tells All. about the HIV, about the sex, the drugs, and all this kind of stuff. Was there somebody playing in our face? Mark said he gave everything he had. Now I'm broke and me and the dog gone. What? He gave everything he had. Now I'm broke and me and the dog is gone. Oh, Lord. Mark done left and took the dog with him. I don't know what. Mark got to be crazy too. To sit up there and listen to that shit all day long, girl. Don't you get headaches? I would have migraines if I had to listen to Jay Wilson talk all damn day. My suspicion is they don't talk very much. They go to the amusement park. You know, we're bragging about guys. We have a season passes to the amusement park. Come on, Marky. Come on, Marky. Come on, Marky. Wee. Damn near 60 years old. Is that what they have in common? But we can't see nothing else they have in common, girl. There is no Mark. That's probably the closest thing to the truth. And if there is a Mark, that's just his girlfriend. Somebody go to the amusement park with, honey. Cruise trade. Baby Mark is probably out there drinking, smoking, meeting trade on the weekends, girl. He said he got his own hail. He got his own hail. Yesterday, the bitch was over there talking about everybody who have a house. Oh, you said that about the beef. I don't know what they were so upset about. Apparently, they were on, what was it, Brianna Simone's page. And some dude from some other sector, he saw this person, is her name Lawana? He saw her name somewhere. So he came over there to the page he was on. And he only made like, was it even a line of words? He said something about, I don't want to be over there. There's them gay niggas over there. I said, well, what y'all so shocked about? Isn't that the way they talk? Hardheads? That's the way they talk. Everybody's a niggas. Everybody's a niggas, right? So all he added was gay. So gay is a little better than faggot, right? So he said, them gay niggas over there. Well, that's the truth. I mean, we are kind of over here in abundance, girl. Anyway, so she had to make a whole video about it. Oh, the LGBT. I mean, the same gender loving over here got their own hell. He will say, we do not all share your values. A lot of people are not over here, girl, all trying to live in big empty houses by themselves, mistake. So I know you consider that to be the ultimate brick, honey, the ultimate yellow brick road, girl. But it's not for most people, girl. It's not for people who live in cities. Unless you got $1.3 million, you won't be having your own hell in San Francisco. But she's always looking for ways to validate she is somebody, she has done something, she's accomplished something. You ain't accomplished shit. And as soon as you start missing them damn payments, bitch. So I don't know how much longer you think people are going to listen to this boring ass commentary of yours, girl. You banking on, after all those goddamn years in school, all them degrees, all them certificates, you are banking on YouTube to sustain you in a 35-year mortgage. He would have to have a bigger house where he can't find me. He got his own hell. Let me see. Let me see what I say. I'm going backwards now. So if I was Will Smith, I wouldn't want to be married to the woman and she don't want to be married to me. Now, even if if it costs me a lot of money to break up to make whatever. If it costs me a lot of money, I'd rather be able to live freely, honey. If I can find myself another wife, right? Maybe I could partner with somebody. As long as I have this thing hanging over me that I'm a married man, it's going to cut into my potential mates. Hers too, right? I mean, people get to choose however they want to live their lives, but she apparently made a decision on her own to stop that. So does that mean they're going to get a divorce now? right? People gonna call you hypocrites if you just stand together for the money. Not that you would give a damn, but don't you want to go and have, maybe you want to have other kids, or maybe you want to meet somebody or date some people without it being a secret, where they got to go on a date with you. They got to sign an NDA because you're a married man, right? Hey, ding dong. Will you be quiet, please? Get your bum over here. Hey there, buddy. What you doing? What time is it? Oh, hold on a minute, honey. Ooh, I got to get out here. I got somebody I got to go to, people. I got to get this. I have this doctor's appointment. So I got to leave, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, what's today? Thursday. And we'll talk to you later. Thanks for coming in.